Now, on Wednesday, French President Emmanuel Macron met with Libyan Prime Minister Fayez al-Sarraj, supported by the United Nations. This comes at a time when the al-Sarraj administration is unhappy with what is perceived as Paris' tacit support for Eastern Commander Khalifa Haftar. The Libyan National Army, LNA, of Haftar is backed by a parallel administration based in Benghazi, and it launched an offensive against Tripoli in early April, but its progress was blocked by forces loyal to the National Unity Government.
Well, Jerry, there's a political deadlock in Libya, and each of the warring sides is trying to gather support. On Thursday, General Khalifa Haftar completed his second visit in a month to Cairo, and the day before, Fayez al-Sarraj was at the Elysee in Paris. To better understand the outcome of this Libyan crisis, we are joined by Monsef Jaziri, a political analyst living in Switzerland. Jaziri, Emmanuel Macron Wednesday hosted Fayez al-Sarraj in Paris at a time when the international community is unable to successfully call for a ceasefire. How long do you think that this war will last? Unfortunately, the war will not end either immediately or in a short time. There are three main reasons for this, if you will. First, there's the determination of Haftar's National Army to neutralize the Tripoli militias. The second factor is Prime Minister Sarraj's refusal to accept anything that would not result in a return to his original position. Third, there are divisions within the international community regarding the meaning or interpretation of Haftar's offensive against Tripoli. So, there are three main reasons why this war will not end in the immediate future, unfortunately, not even in the short time or medium term.
With international pressure, can General Haftar backtrack?
Je ne crois pas qu'il fasse marche arrière, si vous voulez, parce que
I don't think he's backing down because the assault itself has been practically underway since 2014. He has said it several times that after the East, after the South, he will go to Tripoli to wage war against the armed militias, which he considers to be the major obstacle to the reconstruction of the state and the unification of institutions. In addition, he appears to have received a green light from some powers here and there that basically the action taken against the Islamists would ultimately be relatively acceptable to some Western countries.
Des signaux de feu vert de la part de certaines puissances, en fait, selon lesquelles, au fond, l'action menée contre les islamistes est finalement relativement acceptable pour certains pays occidentaux, en tout cas.
Now, coming back to this assault launched by General Haftar, have there been any developments that reinforce his belief that settling in Tripoli is the only option to strengthen his stronghold? The issue is not about strengthening his control over Tripoli. The issue is about achieving a political system, an organization of forces that guarantees a fair and just distribution of oil resources for the West, East, North, and the South. The east of the country considers that, in essence, it's unfairly treated, and that although most important resources are in the east of the country, the leaders of the east consider that they do not have their share, or at least the share that should be theirs from the point of view of the oil wealth. The main issue is that to establish a system that will make the redistribution of oil revenue fairer in a way and acceptable to the three regions, particularly acceptable to the east of the country.
So going by this recent events, all of the things that have been taking place, can we say that all the efforts to bring about peace in Libya are slowly fading away, and it seems pretty obvious that the elections will have a hard time taking place this year, wouldn't it?
I think that the elections are unfortunately postponed until later. The conduct of war shows that the emergency is no longer the issue of elections, but rather the issue of a ceasefire and the organization of post-war period. I believe that from this point of view, there's a problem of credibility of the United Nations and the United Nations mission in Libya, in particular of Mr. Salamé. Credibility, because basically we continue to talk about elections while everything that is happening shows that it's not the most urgent matter, that it's the outcome of the war. The ceasefire, which is now the most pressing issue for the coming weeks and unfortunately even the coming months.
Ce n'est pas la première urgence et c'est bien l'issue de la guerre et le cessez-le-feu qui est maintenant l'urgence pour les prochaines semaines, voire malheureusement les prochains mois.
Merci à vous, Monsieur Monsef Jaziri.
Thank you, Monsef Jaziri, for your insights. Monsef Jaziri is a political analyst and expert on issues related to the crisis in